Welcome students to the History and Civics session. Through this video, I will explain to you the chapter Traders to Rulers. In this, I will deal with the system of trade and commerce in India in the 17th and 18th centuries. The intense rivalry among the trading companies, the impact of the battles of Plassey and Buxar in strengthening the British position in India, and I will also highlight the expansionist policy of the British with reference to dual government, doctrine of lapse, subsidiary alliance, and annexation of Awadh. In 1600, British entered Mughal India as traders with economic interest after acquiring a charter from the ruler of England, Queen Elizabeth I. The charter granted it the sole right to trade with the East. East India Company at first struggled as the Portuguese, the Dutch, and the French were already trading in India, and all the trading companies were battling amongst themselves to secure markets. But after defeating the French and with the decline of Mughal empire, they became a dominant force in the Indian subcontinent. They slowly started taking away the kingdoms through alliances, wars, and conspiracies. They became more diplomatic in their approach. As they became more powerful, they enforced intolerance, inequality, and mistreatment. They made natives second class citizens and treated them as servants. The British established their rule first in Bengal by setting up the first English factory on the banks of River Hooghly in 1651. This was the base from which the company's traders operated. As trade expanded, the company tried continuously to press for more concessions. The Nawabs refused to grant these concessions. The Nawab of Bengal, Sirajuddaulah, protested. As a result, due to the company's interference into the political affairs of Bengal, the conflict between the company and the Nawab intensified. All the three Nawabs, that is Murshid Quli Khan, Alivardi Khan, and Sirajuddaulah, were strong rulers, and each one asserted his power and autonomy. Thus, the conflict led to the confrontation and finally resulted in the Battle of Plassey and the Battle of Buxar. The first biggest strike from the British on India was the defeat of the Nawab of Bengal, Sirajuddaulah, at the hands of Robert Clive in the Battle of Plassey, which was fought in 1757. The parties involved in the battle were British East India Company on one side and Sirajuddaulah, the Nawab of Bengal, on the other side. The result of the battle was the decisive victory of the British East India Company. Bengal was annexed and Mir Zafar became the Nawab of Bengal. There was establishment of British power in Bengal after the Battle of Plassey. The reasons behind this battle was Murshid Quli Khan, Alivardi Khan, and Sirajuddaulah were very strong and powerful Nawabs. The company wanted a puppet ruler. Sirajuddaulah warned the company not to interfere in the political affairs of Bengal. The company didn't pay attention to it. So the annoyed Nawab's army attacked on the English warehouses and the company's fort. At this, Robert Clive led his army against the Nawab at Plassey in 1757. Sirajuddaulah, the Nawab of Bengal, was defeated and killed. The battle was very significant as it marked the victory of the company, and thus the Britishers became very powerful in Bengal, and Mir Zafar became the Nawab of Bengal, who always conspired against Sirajuddaulah. Actually, he was a puppet ruler. But soon the company realized that even the puppet Nawabs were not always supportive and helpful. When the company ordered Mir Zafar to pay the expenses of Bombay and Madras presidency, and the company tried to dictate him, he refused to do so and protested. The company deposed him and appointed Mir Qasim the Nawab of Bengal. He also became a strong ruler and tried to consolidate his power, which displeased the company. And this resulted in the Battle of Buxar in 1764. Battle of Buxar was more important than the Battle of Plassey as it managed to extend the power of East India Company beyond Bengal. The parties involved in it were the British East India Company versus the combined forces of Mughal Emperor Shah Alam, Nawab of Bengal Mir Qasim, and Nawab of Awadh Sujauddaulah. The result of the battle was the company defeated the combined forces of Mir Qasim, Shah Alam, and Sujauddaulah. Shah Alam and Sujauddaulah signed the Treaty of Allahabad with Robert Clive. Under this Treaty of Allahabad, the Mughal emperor surrendered the sovereignty of Bengal to the British. Robert Clive became the first governor of Bengal. The companies got Diwani rights to collect revenue from Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. Nawab of Awadh paid 30 lakhs to retain his Nawabship and also gave the area of Allahabad and Kora to the Mughal emperor. Now, the Diwani rights became the main source of revenue thereafter from India. The significance of this battle was through this battle, the company extended its power beyond Bengal, as not only the Nawab of Bengal was defeated, but also the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam. Thereafter, the Battle of Buxar, the British East India Company got the Diwani rights, and then Robert Clive established the dual government in Bengal. The Britishers had power without responsibility. They controlled the finances of Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, and even Awadh. This dual form of government was introduced by Robert Clive. Under this system, the same person acted as the Diwan on behalf of the company and the Subedar on behalf of the Nawab. The person was nominated by the Britishers. It resulted in the access to revenue and thus led to the drain of wealth from Orissa, Bihar, and Bengal. Thus, the company slowly expanded and consolidated its colonial power through various diplomatic policies. From a small trading body, it became a ruler after 1757. It all started with its access to Bengal. Now, on the grounds of misadministration, Lord Dalhousie annexed Awadh to the English Empire from the Nawab Wajid Ali. This actually resulted in the revolt of 1857. The British expanded the territory by conquering some of the Indian states like Punjab, Sindh, Bengal, Mysore, Hyderabad, Myanmar, and Nepal. Lord Wellesley adopted the system of subsidiary alliance with the purpose of forming a British empire by controlling the native powers. It organized a strong army, suppressed French influence, and destroyed the power of Tipu Sultan and the Marathas. Under this treaty, the Indian state states should give money or territory for the British Army. The Indian rulers couldn't take any major military or political decisions independently. They couldn't employ non English Europeans. The treaty was signed by Nizam of Hyderabad, Tipu Sultan, Tipu Sultan's successors. Even Maratha rulers signed it. Then another policy introduced by the British East India Company was the doctrine of lapse. It was introduced by Lord Dalhousie. Under this system, if an Indian ruler didn't have his own real son after his death, his company used to be annexed to the English territories. In this way, the company annexed Satara, Nagpur, Jhansi, Udaipur, Jaipur, Sambhal, and Bhagat. Slowly but surely, the East India Company started to rule, and it transformed from a trading company to a ruling one. The power of East India Company kept growing till 1858. And after the revolt of 1857, the British Crown took direct control of India to begin the British rule. Thus, children, now it must be very clear to you about all the policies and powers of the British East India Company and how gradually they made the Indian rulers and its people helpless and powerless in their own territory. Thank you.